This is News Today with WDW News Today. I'm Tom Corliss of WDWNT.com. Please like this video, subscribe, and hit the notifications bell to make sure you never miss the latest from the Disney theme parks all around the world, especially this week. It is a crazy week around here, as you'll see in the news. Before we get to the news, though, I have to mention today's sponsor, which is still MagicBandReaders.com, but we're showing something a little different today. I don't know if I can yank this over this way. I'm going to. This is one of their Magic Band readers. This is the Spaceship Earth one, and something pretty cool is going to happen when I tap Jake's Magic Band. I never wear a Magic Band anymore. I was so mad at the new Magic Band that I stopped wearing them. But Jake let me borrow his. We're going to try this out. Oh, there we go. Look at that. So if you tap your Magic Band to this one, it actually does the whole show from Spaceship Earth. This, of course, being the one orchestrated by Pinar Toprak, which someone we're going to talk about again on the show today. And it matches the real show, like verbatim. So this is pretty darn cool. I have to say, this is honestly, like, look, I like the wait time signs and I like the fireworks one. This is my favorite. This is the one I would buy. I mean, be able to light that up anytime. And it looks, how good does it look with the Christmas tree, right? It's kind of a Christmas decoration. But before we get dinged for Pinar Toprak music, this is like a full 3.5-minute show, and I can't stop this otherwise. So I'm gonna do this so we can go to the news. But as you can see, it's super cool. Use our code NEWS15 to save 15% on these, the other Magic Band readers, and as well, all those wait time signs, whatever you'd like. There's still time to get stuff for Christmas, so I suggest you go order very, very soon. And EPCOT's on everyone's mind, you'll see why when we get to today's news. And now the news for December 4th, 2023. Though World Celebration Gardens won't officially open at EPCOT until tomorrow, we were able to catch a first look at the new area in the currently unfinished World Celebration neighborhood on December 4th, thanks to a cast member preview. World Celebration Gardens is located behind Spaceship Earth, which has served as EPCOT's icon since the park opened in 1982. The new area consists of several gardens that meet at a central circular pathway that surrounds a planter, and the 5-ringed EPCOT logo appears atop the pathway. It's outlined by lights laid into the ground. Now, we won't have a first look at the nighttime lighting in this area because the cast preview ended, I think, at 4 o'clock today. And so December 5th will be the first time we get to see the nighttime lighting, so you have to stay tuned for photos and video from that tomorrow. From an overhead view, the circular planter serves as the centerpiece of the EPCOT logo, and though not an entirely convincing replication from the ground, the planter does look akin to the globe, at least the one seen in the EPCOT icon from the sky. Rustic detailing appears alongside several plants inside the structure. This aesthetic is expanded upon in the other sections of World Celebration Gardens. The surrounding pathway is bordered by tall white light posts that match the lighting installed around other areas of World Celebration in appearance. These lights started changing colors in synchronization with Spaceship Earth's nighttime shows earlier this month. We'll talk about that in a few moments, but nonetheless, we'll keep going. A depiction of Spaceship Earth itself, its icon, that has appeared on various souvenirs and maps in the park's opening years, can be found laid into the ground just a short distance away from the central planter. An Inspiration Garden is one of several plots that guests will be able to visit on December 5th. It's the only garden that's not named after a nearby building or shop. It will ultimately contain different stages that will be used for shows. What shows, we don't know yet. Inspiration Garden expands upon the rustic motif introduced in the central planter. The area contains several tree-like sculptures made of rustic metal. Geometric patterns are carved out of the upper portions of the sculpture, and they're filled in with a mesh-like material. Spotlights sit atop some of the rustic trees, while others contain speakers. Shapes are carved into their bases, further adding to the contemporary aesthetic, and wood-topped benches surround the large circular area in which the sculptures reside. They're curved and feature arched back support. The rest of the area is surrounded by a curved half wall that again features geometric detailing. And the ground in this section is a sandy beige tone, with some of it featuring the same shape-filled patterns found in other sections of World Celebration. Communicore Garden is named after the nearby Communicore Hall and Plaza, despite being part of World Celebration neighborhood, and neither of these offerings will open on December 5th. That's going to be at a later date, so it didn't make it. We speculated last week that those will open for probably Festival of the Arts, but it remains to be seen. This garden allows for a great view of the progress on Communicore Hall, though, providing ample seating from which you can watch, and eventually ample seating to enjoy, just sitting or a snack or a drink or whatever. There are several seating areas throughout Communicore Garden, most of which are shaded thanks to surrounding plants and trees. The seating options range from wood-top benches to tables with stools, allowing you to stop and rest for a quick bite. And some even feature some light theming. The circular bench seen here, for example, looks similar to the logo of the former Communicore Pavilion, which was an opening day offering at EPCOT Center. Several of the seating areas offer charging ports, allowing you to recharge your phone as you relax. There are standard outlets as well as USB. This unique wooden bench, which is vaguely reminiscent of the divider panels found at the travel port in Communicore East back in the 1980s, is next to a charging port as well. Communicore Garden is illuminated by modern light fixtures that feature geometric patterns and colored glass. Creations Garden, meanwhile, is located outside of the Creation Shop, which is the flagship retail location of EPCOT. It, like Inspiration Garden, features seating in the form of curved benches around the edges of the area. The benches are made of concrete with wooden interiors. Creations Garden may feature a subtle nod to EPCOT's history in the form of the blue and green waves that are laid into the ground around the area. The color choice is perhaps a reference to the former entrances of Innoventions. You may remember East and West were separated by colors with blue and green. All of these swooshes in the ground are either blue or green, so it may be a reference to those. The wave patterns are made of colored stones laid into the concrete. Unique light fixtures also appear amidst some of the floor in Creation Garden. These clear tubular pieces will light up at night. The Connections Garden is located outside of Connections Cafe and Eatery, and the Connections Cafe is home to EPCOT Starbucks location, so this plot should serve as an effective overflow seating and provide some scenic views for guests enjoying a cup of joe. Of course, if you ever tried to go to that Starbucks, you know those seats are always full, so this is some much-needed seating. Contemporary seating is complemented by modern sculptures placed throughout the area, and the art pieces feature tall straw-like structures emerging from the ground through black circles. The seating in this garden doesn't feature much in the way of unique theming. The chairs and tables are quite standard, with the benches being long planks of wood emerging from the side of concrete flower beds. There are a few lawn chairs in this garden that offer views of the central hub. The ground detailing in this area differs depending on where you're standing. Some of the detailing looks akin to broken sand-colored rockwork, while a brick-like pathway allows entrance into the garden from the central planter. Dreamer's Point is located directly behind Spaceship Earth and is home to the Walt the Dreamer statue. The sculpture was introduced via concept art several years ago and was on display at the D23 Expo in 2022. The final sculpture, shown off by Disney last week, is slightly different from the concept art, now sitting on a bench as opposed to a staircase or pedestal. The statue and its bench rest in front of a mostly obscured view of Spaceship Earth. It depicts Walt in the later years of his life, and he sits on the seat with clasped hands and a smile on his face. The back of the bench features detailing that emulates the proposed design and layout of Walt's EPCOT, the experimental prototype community of tomorrow, that would have been an actual functional city. This actually continues on the floor as well. This is my favorite thing they did. When they did it on the floor of the Connections, the cafe and eatery, have some nods to this layout. I think they're kind of dumb in there. People are always standing on them. You can't see they're there. I like it here. I like the idea of, I still don't like the statue, and I still don't like that there's a tall concrete bench behind him, and I really don't like there's these big tall lights on either side. But beyond that, I like the idea that it's like, well, Walt dreamed of EPCOT, and this is the EPCOT he dreamed of sort of, as the backdrop for him. And then as you go forward, you move, into current EPCOT. I would have liked, I'll save it for the honest review. I know we're going to have one tomorrow, and I can tell you based on these photos, I am going to be ranting hard tomorrow. So stay tuned. Stay tuned for that when it comes out. That'll probably come out on Wednesday. They'll need a day to edit that. But stay tuned for the honest review. I'm not going to stop and rant now, but nonetheless. Walt looks out over the rest of Dreamer's Point in the central hub of World Celebration Gardens. The section of Dreamer's Point between Walt the Dreamer statue and the center of the garden contains a long rustic metal bench that contains oval slots for drainage. Triangles are indented into the side of the bench, and it is actually rusty, as our reporter actually got rust on their pants when they sat on this. And yes, it was intended to also be seating. There were Imagineers there today, and specifically one of them said, yeah, that's a bench. The floor contains geometric detailing that, like several other areas of World Celebration, contains drainage holes as to prevent puddling and buildup. We will have, tomorrow for you, I will go film an actual video tour in both daytime and nighttime of the area, but this is something to wet your whistle in the meantime. Certainly let us know in the comments what you think. I'm not expecting a lot of positive comments. We'll see what happens. Again, EPCOT is taking one more step towards its ever-changing future as the lighting around World Celebration is now synchronized with the Spaceship Earth light shows. So that's right. So as those various Spaceship Earth light shows are happening, all of those lights up in the front of the park will interact with the show, right? The fountain, the lights on the buildings that surround the courtyard there, and as well, just the lights in that courtyard. But what's happening now is the rest of World Celebration is now all in synchronization with these shows. So the lighting in Connections and Creations, the lighting in the breezeway underneath, the lighting in the trees in the new area that's going to open tomorrow. There is this what looks like illuminating grass. There's these lights shaped like blades of grass that are in the planters. All of this. So the whole front of the park is going to light up in synchronicity with the points of light on Spaceship Earth. And so that's going to be really interesting to see. Like, again, during the day, without the fountain and stuff, it looks kind of dead, but we are dying to see what this finished product is going to be tomorrow. But we got a little taste of it earlier in the week. You can watch the little video we shot at wwnt.com. It's on our social media channels. Again, just a taste of what's to come. Guests visiting the new Walt the Dreamer statue and taking in the scenic views of World Celebration Gardens at EPCOT on the opening day, December 5th, will do so while listening to a brand new musical arrangement. A new background music loop composed by Pinar Toprak will debut in World Celebration at EPCOT on, again, tomorrow, December 5th. Members of the media were told on Monday. Of course, Toprak has a history of collaborating with Disney. In addition to composing 2019's Captain Marvel for Marvel Studios, she helmed the EPCOT anthem that plays at night, the one you just heard on this thing. She also worked with Disney Live Entertainment on the score for Luminous, The Symphony of Us, a new nighttime spectacular. She worked on Harmonious as well. And of course, we've talked about the problems with Luminous, The Symphony of Us and all that stuff. But nonetheless, Toprak has also done a whole new background music loop that's going to play in this area, which will actually be original music. So I'm one of those people that I really dislike the new entrance loop at EPCOT because it's a Spotify playlist, if you will. It's licensed music. Some of it works well, but overall it doesn't feel very EPCOT, right? So I was worried today when the first video started coming in of the new garden area, we were getting that music again. I was like, how much of the park are we going to, and how much of the park are we going to be forced to listen to this Spotify playlist? And then this announcement came out and I was like, thank God. And then I read Pinar Toprak and I was like, oh no. Some of Pinar's work I love. I think the music on the Spaceship Earth show is good. I don't know that I liked Harmonious. I don't know how we're going to feel about Luminous. I am very hopeful that she did a good job because it needs it, man. We need something to counterbalance that entrance loop. And I am praying, I hope someone in Imagineering cared a little bit. Because if there could be some homage to that wonderful previous Interventions loop, you know what I'm talking about, that music that played outside Interventions as you walked around Future World that you could not get out of your head for the rest of your life. Man, that would be great. I'm not expecting it, but I would love to be surprised tomorrow. Again, stay tuned. Well, we're going to sit there and film this whole loop tomorrow, so stay tuned for it. The gateway to the now closed Star Wars Galactic Starcruiser in Galaxy's Edge at Disney's Hollywood Studios has now been blocked off with props after guests had been tying ribbons to it in honor of their experience aboard the Halcyon. The gate was through a tunnel next to First Order cargo. Banners have also been removed from the exterior of that building. One orange banner remains, though. Galactic Starcruiser guests entered Galaxy's Edge through an archway in the back of the tunnel after a ride aboard the box truck shuttle. They would then return here for a ride back to the hotel. Some themed crates now sit in the archway leading to the actual gates, blocking guests from it. The gate is closed. We presume it's also locked. But what was happening here was guests were, this is something we do with the tree in Batuu as well, you tie sort of a remembrance ribbon to the gate. And so guests who had been aboard the Halcyon who missed the Starcruiser were showing their support by tying ribbons to this gate. Disney decided they didn't want that. They ripped all the ribbons off and they blocked the gate. This wasn't bothering anyone. I hate when they do stuff like this. I hate when something organic and cool happens in the parks and then Disney goes out of their way to like smash it into oblivion. And that's what they did here. So, I mean, I don't know if they need to work on the gate. That makes sense, but I don't think that's what's happening here. I think this was just, stop people from doing this. This program is brought to you by our official travel agent sponsor, Be Our Guest Vacations. Your dream vacation begins with Be Our Guest and their concierge team of expert vacation planners. Head on over to beourguestvacations.com/WDWNT and their team will design your next magical vacation, from the Walt Disney World and Disneyland resorts to the Disney Cruise Line to Adventures by Disney and more. They're also able to book unforgettable VIP tours where you and your group can experience the ultimate park day. The best part is their concierge services are 100% free, so book today. Set sail for a tropical hideaway long after your Walt Disney World vacation ends with the new 4th edition of the HippopotoMai-Tai Tiki mug. It's now in blue at Trader Sam's Grog Grotto at Disney's Polynesian Village Resort. It's $29 with the drink. This again is the 4th edition in a vibrant teal blue. Meanwhile, at Disneyland Resort, it's orange, the newest one, but that color never came to Walt Disney World. Nonetheless, here you go, the newest one. It's mug season at Sam's, right? We got the new Nautilus a couple weeks ago, and now this one, and I'm going to be poor very soon if they update all of them. All right, everybody, strap in. We have a ton of Disneyland news for you, as Disneyland Resort, for the first time in their history, has released their full seasonal celebration and special events calendar for the entire next year. So for all of 2024, we know every single event's dates. This has never happened ever. First of all, they announced that Pixar Fest will return this spring. Pixar Fest will be back April 26th through August 4th, 2024. Disney says, bringing us together for a celebration of friendship and beyond. From colorful decor and themed menu items to commemorative merchandise, the Disneyland Resort theme parks, hotels in downtown Disney District will have a Pixar twist of friendly fun for a limited time. This festival of friendship is highlighted by heartwarming entertainment featuring Pixar stories. An all-new daytime parade, Better Together, a Pixar Pals celebration, will debut at California Adventure Park, and at Disneyland Park, the emotional Together Forever, a Pixar nighttime spectacular, will return with some all-new scenes. During the celebration, you may encounter new characters such as Ember and Wade from Elemental, Red Panda May from Turning Red, and more. Additional entertainment and offerings will be announced at a later date. As far as Disney festivals and limited time celebrations, Lunar New Year at California Adventure Park will be presented January 23rd through February 18th. A tribute to Chinese, Vietnamese, and Korean traditions, this multicultural celebration rings in the Year of the Dragon with Asian-inspired food and beverages, vibrant decor, and Mushu leading the way in Mulan's Lunar New Year procession. You could also celebrate gospel at Disneyland Park on February 17th and 24th. Performing at the Fantasyland Theater, the 2024 Celebrate Gospel concerts will be headlined by Marvin Sapp on February 17th and Tasha Cobbs Leonard on February 24th. Celebrate Gospel is an annual tribute to gospel music that brings together award-winning music artists and community choirs from across Southern California. Meanwhile, Anaheim Ducks Days at Disney California Adventure Park will be held February 22nd and 23rd in celebration of the Anaheim Ducks Hockey Club's 30th anniversary. Disneyland Resort and the Anaheim Ducks team up for a 2-day event in Hollywoodland, including a celebratory cavalcade, fan zone with themed activities and photo opportunities, plus appearances by select current and legacy team players. Disney California Adventure Food and Wine Festival is back March 1st through April 22nd. The gastronomic extravaganza serves up creative foods and beverages, cooking demonstrations, and family-friendly entertainment inspired by the diverse cultures and cuisines of the Golden State. The popular attraction Soarin' Over California will also return for a limited time during this festival. Also back is Season of the Force at Disneyland Park, which will be April 5th through June 2nd. Season of the Force arrives at Disneyland Park with Hyperspace Mountain and specially themed food and beverage, merchandise, and more for a limited time. Debuting during the celebration, you'll be able to embark on all new adventures aboard Star Tours. The adventures continue, and Star Wars Galaxy's Edge will provide a fresh perspective on the fireworks above Disneyland Park with galactic music sweeping through the spires. Now, what that means is you've always been able to see the Disneyland fireworks show, whatever it may be, from Galaxy's Edge over the spires of Black Spire Outpost. What this means now is they've apparently created a musical track that will play, that will make it feel like you're watching a Star Wars fireworks show in Galaxy's Edge. We don't know more, but that's a really interesting idea. Also worth noting, Halloween Time at the Disneyland Resort will return August 23rd through October 31st. Yes, that is the earliest start ever. It has never left the month of September. It's never started earlier than that. And wicked fun for all ages, this spellbinding season transforms the resort with autumn decor, characters dressed in hauntingly hot Halloween outfits, and uniquely themed attractions. Meanwhile, Plaza de la Familia at Disney California Adventure will be back August 23rd through November 2nd as well. I don't know when this became separated from Halloween Time, but this is all the Coco stuff at DCA. And last but not least, the holidays at the Disneyland Resort at least got a start date. It will begin on November 15th next year. Family and friends can celebrate the season with the lively Disney Festival of Holidays at California Adventure, plus seasonal overlays of beloved attractions, cherished holiday spectaculars, and dazzling wintry decor throughout the resort. Meanwhile, Disney's separately ticketed after-hours events will be back next year. You may also choose to attend a fan-favorite after-hours event scheduled in 2024. These themed, separately ticketed events include pre-party mix-in, shorter wait times for select attractions, unlimited select Disney PhotoPass digital photo downloads from the event, and more. Disneyland After Dark will return on select nights from January through June. It'll host 4 themed soirees packed with unique entertainment, rare character encounters, and distinctive menus of sweet treats and savory snacks. Specific details on this year's Disneyland After Dark themes and events will be shared soon. Oogie Boogie Bash, a Disney Halloween party, will be back in 2024 as well. No dates were given exactly for when that event will take place. Disneyland Park also announced that the iconic Peter Pan sequence will return as part of Fantasmic when the Nighttime Spectacular makes its way back to the rivers of America on May 24th, 2024. The Peter Pan scene was an original sequence in Fantasmic when it debuted back in 1992. It was replaced by Pirates of the Caribbean as part of the extensive 2017 reimagining. The original sequence, inspired by the 1953 Walt Disney animated feature film Peter Pan, featured Peter and Wendy aboard Captain Hook's pirate ship. Peter Pan and Captain Hook engaged in a daring sword fight atop the boat. That's the Columbia, by the way. The ship was followed by a Tick-Tock Croc. And according to Disney, the returning Peter Pan sequence will be accompanied in Fantasmic by new special effects and a thrilling new battle scene between Sorcerer Mickey and Maleficent. Remember the Dragon, not set to come back, but Fantasmic has been on hiatus since April of 2023 when the Dragon caught fire, and that was the end of the show for the time being. It looks as though Wondrous Journeys will ultimately return to Disneyland Park after all. Previous rumors suggested the nighttime show would not return in 2024 after its final performance this year on August 31st. But after the conclusion of Halloween Time and the holidays at Disneyland Resort, it seems there will be a bit of a buffer between that and when Together Forever comes back for Pixar Fest. And so the rumor now is Wondrous Journeys will come back at the very beginning of the year at some point. We don't have an exact date. This is all still a rumor at this point. But again, the talk is that during the week, you'll be able to see Wondrous Journeys as just a projection show, and then on the weekends, you will get to see it as a fireworks show. But Disneyland has not said anything just yet, but we expect an announcement very soon. A new menu item has arrived at the San Fransokyo Square at California Adventure, which reminds us of a similar snack from Tokyo DisneySea. The Gyoza sausage bun, or you may know it from DisneySea as the Gyoza dog. That's what everyone calls it. You can find it at the Port of San Fransokyo Cervecería, which was previously a dessert window before transforming as part of San Fransokyo Square. The similar snack in question from DisneySea is none other than, again, the Gyoza dog, which can be found at Nautilus Galley in the Mysterious Island section of the park for 600 yen. The Gyoza sausage bun at DCA is $8.99. It's a steamed bun with ground pork and vegetables served with chili soy dipping sauce. Now, you can go read the review from our reporter, but I assure you no one in this company has had more Gyoza dogs than me. So maybe if I get back out to Disneyland in January, this is the first place I'm going. I got to see if this is as good because, man, the Gyoza dog is my favorite. And this feels somewhat sacrilegious because the Gyoza dog is located in, number one, I'm a big 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea fan. And so that's my favorite land at DisneySea, and it's probably the best land they've ever built. It's gorgeous. And so like to sit there and see the Nautilus out in the waterway and boats go by and You know, the Mount Prometheus erupts and you eat your gyoza dog. It's pretty magical. So to change gears and eat that in the middle of San Fransokyo Square, which is a land in one of the worst Disney parks that was ever built, that was then overlaid very quickly and somewhat cheaply, will be a very different experience. So we'll see what happens. But if you can't wait to read the review, if you're going before that and want to know our thoughts, DisneylandNewsToday.com to go read the review. Disney has shared the first room tour for the Pixar Place Hotel, which will open on January 30th, 2024. They're trying to steal my job. Most of the elements showcased in the short video were first seen in the previously released concept art, but this is our first look at the actual room and not art. The clip shows a desk lamp fashioned after Luxo Jr., the iconic jumping light source that appears at the studio tag that plays before each film. Luxo Jr. sits atop the desk across from the book titled The Art of Pixar, a 2020 release that contains color scripts from several of the studio's films. Given its inclusion in both the video and the previously released art, we assume it will be available to you in your room. We're then offered an in-person look at the Pixar-inspired mural that's placed above the bed headboards. The piece contains scenes from Inside Out, Coco, Soul, Finding Nemo, and the Toy Story franchise, as well as The Incredibles. Though a Pixar mural was seen in the previously released concept art that showed Brave, that was not featured in this one. Now, it is possible that different floors or different rooms have different movies in the mural, but we're not sure that that's a thing. We'll have to wait and see how that all works when the hotel opens. Meanwhile, the options menu on the TV contains artwork from several Pixar movies, including Coco and Ratatouille. The clip then shows an example of a potential view from a Pixar Place hotel room before showcasing the bathroom. And while it's our first glimpse at this renovated bathroom, it offers little in terms of surprises. It looks like a standard contemporary hotel bathroom with gray walls and black tile flooring. But a Luxo Jr. illustration is framed over the toilet. That's right, toilet art. They're listening. Each room at Pixar Place Hotel will contain a decorative throw pillow fashioned to the Luxo ball, the iconic yellow toy that subtly appears in most Pixar projects. Again, at the end of January, that's going to open. Our room is booked. We're doing a suite and a regular room, so stay tuned for my room tours, Disney, at the end of January. Back to Tokyo DisneySea, they're launching a new collection of Hotel Hightower merchandise this winter. Of course, the Hotel Hightower is the setting of Tokyo Disney Resort's Tower of Terror, which is similar to the other versions around the world, except it has its own unique story. The new Hotel Hightower merchandise will be available at the Tower of Terror memorabilia shop in the American waterfront section of the park beginning December 26th. There's a Hotel Hightower sign plate, a toothbrush set, a mug, slippers. There's a whole bunch of stuff that emulates things you would find in a hotel room, and I love it. I love it. I mean, it's already one of my favorite attractions in the world. Again, super thoughtful, really cool merchandise. Cannot wait to get my hands on this stuff. Very, very cool. For the absolute latest on all these stories and those that didn't make it into today's show, be sure to check WDWNT.com and follow us on all your favorite social media platforms. You can support the entire team behind this show and others by joining the WDWNT Interglobe Society at patreon.com/WDWNT. Get access to exclusive content, discounted show and event tickets, and more. Special shout out to all of our WIGS members watching who make this show happen every week. For the worldwide leader in Disney Parks news, this is Tom Corliss saying, enjoy the rest of your today and have a great, big, beautiful tomorrow.
Now on WDWNT TV, it's Boxed In. Boxed In is a casually chaotic show featuring WDWNT personalities Eric Morton and Jill Diffendahl, unboxing Disney merchandise and viewer packages, along with a few friends and a bossy little Pomeranian. So smash that like button, subscribe and comment, and keep up with the new Disney merchandise releases, seasonal releases, festival merchandise, limited edition merchandise, wishables, pins, and more. Join us Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern on WDWNT TV.